Welcome to the Nevis newscast for Tuesday, September 29th, 2020. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. On September 27th, the Department of Environment on St. Kitts concluded its climate change adaptation project titled Ensuring Water Security in Vulnerable Schools in St. Kitts and Nevis through on-site water storage capacity. Director of the Nevis Disaster Management Department, Brian Dyer, explains.
This project saw the installation and retrofitting works were completed on Nevis yesterday, Sunday. This project has increased the availability and sustainable management of safe water at 6 schools here on Nevis and 11 schools on St. Kitts. The project was funded by the USAID in collaboration with the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, or 5Cs, at an estimated cost of some $200,000. The project involved retrofitting existing systems at the Charlestown Primary School, the Cicely Brown Integrated School, Ivor Walters Primary, and St. James Primary School. The installation of water tanks were done at the Charlestown Secondary School and Charlestown Preschool.
At the Monday, September 28th Nevis COVID-19 EOC briefing, Dyer expressed appreciation to all who contributed to the project, which will benefit the Federation's students.
The Disaster Management would like to extend its profound thanks and sincere appreciation to the Department of Environment on St. Kitts, the Ministry and Department of Education on Nevis, the Water Department and Water Project Office on Nevis, the contractor Potworks of St. Kitts, subcontractor Mr. Rudolph Nisbet on Nevis, Department of Physical Planning, and Public Works Department for their collaborative effort in bringing this project to fruition.
The training component of the project and the formal handing over ceremony will be announced at a later date. A fee is now required for persons who wish to quarantine at the Potworks Estates apartment, so says Chairperson of the Nevis COVID-19 Task Force, Dr. Judy Nisbet.
A decision has therefore been taken to start collecting a fee for quarantine for the use of Potworks Estates apartments for quarantine. The fee is US $400 for the period of quarantine. And this is to be paid by all categories of applicants. This is in addition to the cost of the test that is taken at the end of the quarantine period, or any test that's taken in the event that persons develop symptoms, for example. And this test costs EC $270, which is about $100 US. So in total, persons who are going to be quarantined at the Potworks Estates apartments starting October 1st will pay $400 for the quarantine period and $100 for the test.
Dr. Nisbet noted that children under the age of 12 are not required to pay for any COVID-19 tests during quarantine. She also spoke about the process for persons seeking repatriation.
Persons who are seeking information regarding repatriation, please remember that you can email COVID-19 Task Force at niagov.com, and in that email, state your query and you will be answered. And this includes persons who are interested in home quarantine also.
Chair of the Nevis COVID-19 Task Force, Dr. Judy Nisbet, was speaking at the Nevis COVID-19 EOC briefing held on Monday, September 28, 2020. 2 new ventilators will be added to those that are already available at the Alexandra Hospital. Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley, made the disclosure at his September 22nd press conference.
2 ventilators that were purchased by funds from the Nevis Island Administration with assistance from the Taiwanese government in early March are now on island. These machines are useful in assisting patients who are unable to breathe, whether as a result of pneumonia, coronavirus, or even traumatic injury. The ventilators, we have heard a lot about them as a consequence of the response to COVID. But the truth is that ventilators have wide application.
The new ventilators will bring the total to 8 that will be used in the hospital's intensive care unit.
We started out on this particular path. I believe we only had 2 ventilators available at our hospital. We are now up to 8. And this has been a result of our continued efforts at investment. And here we have ventilators that were purchased by us with assistance from our friends, the Republic of China, Taiwan, as we seek to better equip ourselves to manage what may come in terms of COVID, and as I said, to be able to respond to patients who have pneumonia or even a traumatic injury.
Premier and the Senior Minister of Health in the Nevis Island Administration, the Honourable Mark Brantley. Still to come, Chairman of CXC issues statement on July 2020 examinations. The details after this break.
Who are you? And who you be? What's wrong with you, man? Take not let no face for heaven's sake, man. Eddie, why your bag looks so heavy?
You have any sauce on this piece?
What is this, a Spanish bar? To covet is just one step away from stealing. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. I should mind our own business.
Welcome back. Concerns raised in the public domain with respect to the efficacy of procedures and systems used by the Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, in its computation and declaration of student performance data are of great importance to the organization. That is according to a statement issued on September 28th by Sir Hilary Beckles, the chairman of CXC, on the July 2020 regional examinations. The statement says Registrar Dr. Wayne Wesley and his team have met with the regional ministers of education in order to discuss these concerns and identify the underlying causes with a view to moving forward and providing clarity to stakeholders and enhanced support. There will be ongoing dialogue with regional ministers of education based upon the official gathering of data relevant to all ventilated concerns. Each and every formally reported case will be reviewed, and where remedies are required, they will be applied. It was anticipated that, given these specific challenges, a period of review and possible revisions would follow, consistent with the regulations of the Council. It has been agreed, therefore, that an independent review team will shortly begin this work and present a report for discussion with relevant stakeholders, the statement says. The Nevis Electricity Company Limited NEVLEC is advising its customers of a scheduled power outage for Thursday, October 1st, 2020. The interruption is to upgrade high voltage lines from Cotton Ground Load Break Switch to Nelson Spring and is part of the program to upgrade the Cotton Ground feeder. NEVLEC wishes to apologize for the short notice and for any inconvenience caused due to this interruption. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Thank you for viewing.